Greetings, welcome. I am Dre, and this is DreMat TV. Now, as you can see, based on the title, this is going to be a heartfelt and this is going to be a thought provoking video where I'm going to share my beliefs and my desires of changing the society around me or changing whatever environment around me for the better. All right. Before I get into that, I want to recap, or let me not say recap, but I want to revisit one of the reasons why I started this YouTube channel, why I launched it, and that is because I aspire to be a teacher. I want to be a physical education teacher. I want to be around young men, and I want to have the opportunity to provide for them a listening ear and also an encouraging voice. I really want to be someone who is there for them and to be that role model, a role model that I've been desperately searching for when I was a child, when I was a teenager, when I was an adolescent, just so that I may have something to look forward to, just so that I may have something to look up to and to stay on track, stay on path for my future, for my benefit. Right? So I want to be in the classroom, I want to teach young men, I want to inspire and I want to influence. Now, the reason why I'm saying this now, because even though I'm not in the classroom, and yes, I still aspire to be in the classroom, I still aspire to teach physical education. I want to be the coach, I want to make up a bugger noise, I want to be a lot of things, right? Because there are plenty of teachers who have touched me right here. And I want to be the teacher to touch students right here. So, although I'm not in the classroom as yet, I'm somewhat on a detour, on a long route, on a more difficult route. On a more difficult route. And because of that, I'm still trying to stay focused on what I want to do in my society as an individual, not just a teacher. So I am a customer rep at a very recognizable company, and I try to give good customer service throughout. But one thing I realize whenever I come in from work in the evening, now this is a story, this is the story part now. Whenever I come in from work, whether it be late in the evening or early in the afternoon, when I'm coming in, I live next to my house is next to I'm not going to say it's a sewer, but it's more like a trench, and or we call it gully. We call it a gully in Jamaica. So I live next to a gully, right? Big up my father. I live next to a gully, and there's a group of young men who takes refuge at that gully side, right? Now I understand that they are friends and they're coming together just to have recreational activities like talking. Well, we drink a little bit of whiskey here and there, or smoke some of the chalice. And although those activities, those behaviors are things that I don't condone with, I may not be a part of nor tolerate, I can't judge a person based on the lifestyle that they choose. But it's worrisome, you know. It is worrisome and it is concerning. Because as a young child, I had a neighbor next to me. Like, the houses are very close together, and I have a neighbor that was next to me. His son was like a ringleader for all of the other teenage boys in the community, and he would call the congregation right at the gully side, and that's where they started everything. It started innocently from discussions, talks, whether it be school, whether it be sports, whether it be females, to smoking weed, to playing loud music, to all these things. It was so bothering and disturbing that my mother, she couldn't even get sleep because of it, because she don't like it. She's hearing everything that they're saying, everything that they're doing. And as I said, I was a young child. I was not going to speak up for anybody. And these gentlemen then grew up, they mature, and they moved to various locations. Don't know where they are, but I know they're not here anymore. I'm still here though. And you have a group of young men who are younger than me. I'm 27, so they're in their either early 20s or late teens. And I've realized that they were too young at the time to realize what my neighbor and his friends were doing. But yet still they adopted the same mentality, the same behavior. And it worried me so much because I am in between those two generations, but yet still I don't have that mentality, that lifestyle, that way of thinking, to want to smoke weed or to want to sit on the gully banking, to want to sit at somebody else's gate side and make joy or music or anything like that. I don't do that. I don't have the desire to do that. One, because I am the son of a single mother, and she can be very loud and embarrassing, and I don't like embarrassment. So because of that, and I would say that's the only reason. I said one, but that's the only reason. I didn't want to face the embarrassment of my mother yelling my name, Andre, 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 yell out my name. You understand me? And then cuss me in the house. I didn't want to go through that, so I chose the wise route of not congregating or not being associated with people that I may believe would cause my mother to embarrass me. And so I'm thinking to myself, maybe it's the same thing. The household that these young men are coming from, it does not instill the need or the urgency to select a path that may make their parents or their guardians proud, or to not embarrass them, and it worries me. I've taken out the opportunity to talk to them and tell them to join the army, because I didn't know about the army until I was in my late 20s, and about the many opportunities that the army offers. I didn't know that, and sometimes I wish I had signed up for it. Sometimes I really did, because I had the mindset of following rules and staying disciplined, and I wanted a structure, being that I grew up in a home with a single mother. I wanted structure in my life, so I really wanted to be a part of the army, but I wasn't willing to go on the suicide mission. You understand what I mean? But as I get older, wiser, more mature, I realize that the army has many benefits. And for those who are watching this video, you can go ahead and apply for the army as well, as a reserve, as a major. I don't know the different rankings, but go ahead and apply for it. The opportunities are endless and the benefits are crazy good. Alright, so I've recommended it to them, and I'm big on body language. I was reading one of the gentleman's body language and he didn't seem interested at all. Alright, and every time when I walk past, I try to heal them up, even if they must smoke weed, even if they must drink liquor, heal them up safely. Because I want them to have the belief to say that, you know, I said a man will live next to the gully in no view way, no type of way. Because I always try to talk to them with respect, and I always try to give them advice that may not cause other persons to have a problem with them. So I really want them to have in their minds to say that a young man who lives in this community doesn't see them as a cruff. Doesn't see them as a cruff. And even though, like I said, I recommended the army, I was reading some of their body language and they didn't seem interested. And it kind of made me feel saddened, because, like I said, I want to inspire, I want to influence positive change, especially in younger men, right? Because we are the future of our society, because we are supposed to be leaders of our society. A man who stands for nothing will fall for anything. And I really don't want these young men to fall for anything. So because I've been reading the body language, I've kind of stepped back, and it made me feel as if I shouldn't try to help people, because I have another co-worker who I tried to help, and he was looking at time, and he made a fun of my advice. Of course I'm animated. Of course I am very, very boisterous, because that's me. I've always learned how to express myself from my mother, right? And he didn't seem receptive, and I just backed off. But I'm saying this for those who are watching my videos right now. If you see someone in help and you offer a helping hand and they are not receptive, yes, back off, but not too long. And right now, I am going back to those young men, or let me not say going back, but whenever I see them, I'm going to try to engage in conversation, try to see their plans, try to see where they're going, and try to keep them hopeful, and try to let them know and understand that, look, this is a 26-year-old man will living in your community, cares about you, right? And remind them that they have people around them who cares about them, their family members, their friends, their girlfriends, whosoever that they associate themselves with. Because the moment our youngsters or individuals lose sight of hope and faith, that's it. That's it. So when I see them, I'm going to say, yo, everything good? And I'm going to say, yo, sign up for the army yet? Yo, you get what I'm saying? So I'm going to keep on talking to them, keep dialogue, and try to get them on a more righteous or positive path from what they are doing now, because I don't condone it, and I know the parents don't condone it, and I know the community don't condone it, but I'm going to try to just inspire them. Don't stop inspiring someone who you believe needs it. Be the example, be the change that you want to see. And with that being said, until next time.